Welcome to the Finding Nebo Podcast, where we talk about all things good in Nebo School District. We are your hosts, Lindsay Hughes and
Seth Sorensen.
I almost was going to not introduce us and just say, Seth, what's going on? And then I realized they don't know who we are.
Yeah, I think most of our viewers know who we are.
They do.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them do.
Yeah,
because you're married to one and I'm married to the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's been exciting over here at the district office lately.
Yes, it has.
Lots
of changes.
Lots of new appointments.
Yep.
My favorite time of year. Probably because I'm not in the mix anymore. So I don't have any emotions. I'm not nervous.
Well, don't say that. We're always all in the mix.
I know. Don't let Rick hear that I just said that.
We'll dub something else over that.
Okay, perfect.
So,
Dave, you can voice over me on that one.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Okay. Well, I always ask you a question to start. Maybe you have a question to ask me. Do you have a hot take?
Well, the legislature just wrapped up, which is always my favorite time of year.
I know, that's
right?
weird.
I love the legislature. I listen to every session, the
I
committee
do.
meetings, read through the bills. I enjoy that. But there were some interesting bills that came up this
Okay,
year.
name one that was like, whoa, that's interesting. With school, with education.
Oh, with education, I would say possibly the most interesting is forever in Utah, we have been a parental rights state,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And years ago, probably 12, 14 years ago, the legislature passed a law that really allowed students to be checked out of school for anything at any time and kind of did away with the compulsory attendance.
Yes.
A bill snuck through this year that reestablished compulsory attendance, meaning kids are required to be in school. And if they're not, then it's really the parents' fault that they're not there. And there are repercussions for the kids not being in school. That one snuck by a lot of people, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I, one of my roles is to watch social media, and people have been posting about attendance being kind of up in arms about, you don't need to know why my child's not at school. They're my children. They're not going to like this bill.
Right. They're not going to like this one at all. I think I understand where they're coming from.
I do too. Yes.
Parents have a right to do what they need to with their kids. But as I think we know, kids need to be in school.
And some people take advantage of it.
Yeah, they do. And kids learn best when they're there with the teacher.
Yep. I agree.
They just do. So
yeah. I know there's a line, but I actually am glad that we're going to maybe have some teeth again, because we want kids in school.
Yeah, we do.
We want them learning. And I think parents do as well.
I think so.
So we have our first guest in our next long list of appointments.
Yes.
This is Kade Jensen.
Hey guys.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. We're so glad you're here.
Me too.
So Kade, do you know anything about Kade?
Not a lot.
We're going to learn here in just a minute.
I'm excited to find out who Kade is.
Yeah. So Kade currently is the staff developer Title I coordinator at Barnett Elementary.
Yep.
But he was just appointed to be the principal at Brockbank Elementary starting July 1. So for our viewers, they want to know who Kade is, and so do we. Tell us a little bit about yourself personally and professionally.
Okay. Personally, I'm a Payson boy. I grew up in Nebo.
I knew I liked you. You're South County. Love it.
Yep. Graduated from Payson High School.
Okay.
While I was in high school, I met my wife. We dated all through high school and got married as a high school sweetheart.
That is darling.
Yeah. Super fun. Went to UVU and then SU to get my master's. I've worked in 3 schools now: Larson, Mapleton, and Barnett. I've got 3 kids, and we're in Barnett boundaries, so they get to go to school with me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's fun.
I
Super
love it.
fun.
Yeah.
Grayson's in 1st grade right
Okay.
now. Boston's in our preschool, and Harper's my 3-year-old girl that's home.
Awesome.
And we have a little one due in September. So
Congratulations.
yeah, it'll be fun. I don't know. I like being outdoors. Love playing basketball, baseball. In the summers, we have a boat. We go boating at Utah Lake or Lake Powell all the time. So that's super fun. I don't know. Outdoors, we got a family farm. So whenever I can go out there and help my dad or go feed the cows, fix fence. I just love being outdoors, fishing, hunting, anything I can do like that.
You sound like the typical Utah boy. Love being outside,
Yep.
love working hard, love being in nature.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yep.
Yep. So your new appointment, principal of Brockbank Elementary, which I think is very exciting. It's a great school.
Yeah.
They've got a great history. What are you most excited about going down to Brockbank?
Just it's a new beginning, right? You get to meet new friends. You get to go help other people and students. At Barnett, I love going out to recess, getting to know the students, hanging out with them, having conversations, and I think that's probably what I'm most excited for, getting to meet the kids, just being a new friend and face to them and helping them out.
And you know, I think that's what really great administrators do. We talk about that a little bit on the show, is administrators that really excel.
Mhm.
They excel because they get to know every kid in their building.
Yep.
And they have those relationships, which those relationships go a long way. So I think that's a fantastic answer to that question, is getting to know everyone in that new building.
Absolutely. And I think elementary, we're a little more lucky than the secondary folks where they have 1,000 plus students.
Yeah.
It doesn't take us very long. And they only have them for 2 or 3 years, where we get them for 6
Yep.
most of the time.
Yeah.
And we're able to learn them pretty quickly and then really build relationships. We learn the sports they play and the activities they like and what they want us to play with them at recess, and all the things. We learn parents' names, which always impresses the parents. Like, how do you actually know my name?
Mhm.
Well, I only have 400 kids, so I can add a couple more names, So anyway, I love that's what you're looking forward to, because I think, like Seth said, good administrators are the ones that want to build relationships with the little people in their building.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so you're going to leave a great group of people. Did you know that I was the Title I coordinator at Barnett
I did not know
for
that.
2 months? Yeah, so you beat me.
Yep.
You 2 years, I was 2 months. I think Angela Stoddard might still be having a little hard feelings about me leaving only 2 months into the role, but it's fine. We worked it out. You're leaving Barnett. It's such a good place. What do you want to say to the folks at Barnett?
Just I'm gonna miss them. It's only been 2 years, but those 2 years have been awesome. We've had some good times after school, before school, in class, out at recess, making memories. Not gonna forget them. Still have all their numbers. I live in the neighborhood, so I'm gonna be by all the time.
Yep.
Just I'm gonna miss them, and I want to thank them for everything they've done for me, letting me come in, be a part of their family, learn and grow with them.
I love that.
Yep. So leaving Barnett, going down to Brockbank, what would you like to tell all of those folks that you're going to be working with at Brockbank that may not know you yet?
I'm an easygoing guy. I love to help out, be in classrooms as much as I can. That I'm in here you can come to and talk to, but I'm just excited and want to help people.
I love that. Brockbank's lucky to have you.
Thank you.
They are.
They have a good one now, but they're getting a good one as well. So they're going to be in good hands. Kade, good luck. You're going to do amazing.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming today.
Yeah,
Thanks for having
being
me.
here. Our next guest on the podcast is Jade Andersen, who will be coming to join us at the district office.
Super excited.
We're
Yeah,
so
welcome,
excited.
Super excited. Thank you.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
to start off, Jade, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about who Jade Andersen is, both personally and professionally?
Okay, so I grew up here in Spanish Fork, and the youngest of 6 children. My mom was an educator, taught at Landmark for 32
I
years.
worked with your mom at Landmark.
Yeah, so that was kind of my upbringing, is being at Landmark and being in her room and being around her students, and those interactions that she had, at the grocery store, other places, that students coming up to her. And that was a big reason, going into education, was those interactions that she had, and seeing how she touched their lives and changed their lives, so that was a big decision that way. So, but yeah, grew up on a farm, raising cattle, doing stock shows, showing animals in the stock shows, those type of things, being together as a family, doing that type of stuff. doing sports, football, basketball. I love doing that type of stuff. So professionally, I started my career in special education. And so I did a kindergarten through third grade resource at Foothills Elementary. Was my first job in Nebo School District, which I loved. I did find that I did not, like kindergarten through third grade was not my cup of tea. I knew I wanted to teach and interact with the older junior high school age kids at that point. So at that point, the next year, I went to Spanish Fort Junior, taught a class, a special ed class of kids that struggled with behavior. And I did that for about 7 years. Then went to Maple Mountain as their dean of students for about 4, and then Springville High for 1.5 years. And then I've been at Spanish Fork High and for the last 6.5 years as assistant principal, but also the last 2 years as the principal of Oak Ridge. So that's kind of where I've been that way. So, yeah.
Okay, and personally now, you talked about growing up, but who is your beautiful wife and your lovely children?
Yes. I guess I do need to include them, don't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my wife, Charla, she is an instructional coach at Nebo. And she's been in education 20 years, I think.
More than 20.
22, maybe?
I think 22.
Yeah, longer than I have. And so, we actually met through the district, through Dwight Lydiard. Dwight was her principal, and I grew up with Dwight down in Leland. So he set us up, and I actually proposed to her at Larson Elementary during a fire drill. We had a fire drill, and they all made sure she came out a certain door, and I was there with roses and proposed to her
So cute.
that way. So, and yeah, we have 3 children. McKenna is a senior.
That's crazy to me.
I know, Spanish Fork High. So she's our student body president, and she is amazing
She's
at
amazing.
all those things. Very organized, very driven, very
She's a mini Charla.
yes.
Yeah.
She wants to be an event planner.
We actually met her at board meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's academic all-state for swimming. She's done swimming for several years and doing club and high school swimming. So she's loved that. So, and then Rivers, a junior this year, currently playing lacrosse, but loves football as well. And so he's a 6'4", 230-pound kid that I don't mess with much anymore.
So he's a typical Andersen.
Yeah.
Big family.
Even though my dad tricks don't really work on him anymore, I have to be very specific when I mess with him. So, yeah. And then we had a daughter, Avery, that passed away when she was 5. She had what's called Schinzel-Gideon syndrome, which is a very rare genetic mutation. So she was number 52 ever in the world to have that, and they started diagnosing that in 1970. So it's very, very, rare. So
She was a light.
yeah, she loved going to preschool. She went to preschool with Charla at East Meadows, and I know Charla's 5th grade students would fight on who would take her down to the preschool room. In her wheelchair and stuff like that. So those are.
And then she was at Garrett's school, your brother's school for a minute too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
Yeah, she was. So.
Well, thank you. Now all of our viewers.
Now I got
know a
all
little
of it
bit.
out there.
Yes, yes. So now we can tell Charlotte she's allowed to watch because she's actually mentioned in the episode. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So you've been at Spanish Fork High for the last 6.5 years. That has been home.
Yeah.
But you are going to be the student
Success
coordinator here at the district office.
Yep.
And I mean, I clapped when he said you're coming here, but seriously, I'm so excited to work with you. But what are you excited about? What are you most excited about in this role?
So I'm most excited to work with our social workers, to work with the counselors. I get the opportunity to work with our school nurses. Which that's a big thing for me because with Avery, she had a one-on-one nurse, and that nurse made all the difference for Avery and her education in the short amount of time that she was there. So some of those things really excite me about being able to come to the district office, work with those people to help our students. Like I said, with helping those kids with behavior, I feel like working with our counselors and our social workers, those kids that just really struggle, like that's always been kind of my thing. And I love being able to see that like kid that's just really struggling and then find success in the supports that were provided to them and utilizing them. And then they just find joy in seeing that success. Because most of them, like it's just it's just hardship after hardship sometimes, and very little success, or they don't recognize the success when it comes. And when they do recognize that and they start down that path of success, it changes their life. And
what's cool is that your why to begin with as a teacher is the same why moving to the district office.
Yes.
And I think people think that our why changes when we come to the district office. It's like we're working behind the scenes, but it's the same. We are still wanting to benefit and support and watch our students succeed and thrive.
Yeah, and I think that's my feeling is hopefully I can have an impact on a wider range of people. By coming to the district office, by helping all the counselors and helping the social workers and even helping teachers. I know that's a struggle for some teachers is, that student that they just can't connect with, that they just don't know how to, they're communicating to people through these behaviors that some people can interpret that. Right?
Exactly.
And so I hope that I can help teachers interpret that communication in a positive way.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I know when we heard that you were coming into that position, I think we both had the conversation that there really isn't nobody better for that job. Like that job was made for you and your skill set. So we're really excited. So now the tough part, you're leaving your school family at Spanish Fork High. What would you like to tell them as you leave?
And you have two. You have Spanish Fork High and you have Oak Ridge.
And Oak Ridge.
And I know Oak Ridge is special to you as well.
Yes, both are very special. Because graduating from Spanish Fork High, I never thought starting out in education that I'd have an opportunity to be an administrator at Spanish Fork High School. And so this last 6.5 years has been just amazing. Being there with my children, first of all, it's just been fun to be a part of their lives, their activities, seeing them interact with their friends in high school, and having them that relationship with the students. It's been fun to see, and it's been fun to be a part of. And then just the staff and the people at Spanish Fork High are tremendous. Their dedication to students and their job and what they want to do, like they are passionate about helping students. So this last few years, we've been engaged in some professional development that they are just gung-ho about. They're ready and they take it and they implement these small steps into their classrooms, and we see it every day, trying to help engage students in that process of learning. And they are tremendous at it. So I love them. I love Spanish Fork High, and I will always love Spanish Fork High. So I will miss them terribly. Luckily, being here at the district office, it's fairly close to Spanish Fork High. So
I can drop in.
I can skip out and maybe go over there and make sure my son's doing what he's supposed to do.
Exactly. You better check on River. Absolutely.
I got to check on him often, probably.
Probably.
So, but and then what do you say about Oak Ridge? And you are going to make this is going to make me cry. So that's my space to, like, when I need someplace to go to just escape, I go down with those kids. And there's nothing that brings, if you've ever been to the unified sports activities, anything like that, like if you're having a bad day, I don't know how being around those students can't uplift you.
Agreed.
And can't give you that energy that you need to just keep going. And to see what they go through every day, and then you're like, why am I complaining about what I'm going through? And so they're just amazing kids, and they touch lives without even knowing that they do, and every day. So yeah.
And that one's close too, Jade.
Yes.
You can
Yep.
go visit there too.
Yes.
Yep, it's there too. So
When I'm bugging you, you can just go down to Oak Ridge.
I'll have to go down to Oak Ridge and go in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be good.
It is a special place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
last question.
no more crying.
No,
Nope,
stop
nope.
it.
So
Gosh. You're coming here,
yes.
which we're stoked about. What do you want to tell the people here?
Oh, I am ready to learn. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm ready to jump in. This experience will stretch me.
Yeah.
And I know it will, which I'm looking forward to. I want to learn and grow, keep going with that part of my life. It excites me to have that opportunity to be able to interact with you guys, learn from people here at the district office that you know have experienced it, and just keep going with my career in that way. But I'm excited to be a part of that team that reaches out through the whole district.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, and then, I'll still be able to work with Matt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
so that's always, I mean, it is, we've been 6.5 years
Yeah.
together, and
Yeah.
it's been great, and we're a good team, and
Yeah, you are.
I'm excited for that to keep working together and just keep collaborating, and then bring other people into that
Absolutely.
sphere of
Yeah.
collaboration, of just making things better.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Yep.
I have no doubt you guys are going to do that. You guys
Yeah.
have a fun team.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And
gonna be
we're-
awesome.
We're really excited to have you here. So.
I'm excited. So thank you for,
Well, Jade, thanks for coming and hanging out with us
Yeah.
today.
yeah, it's
We're
been great. Thank
We're
you.
so glad you came. Our next guest on the podcast is JR Brandon. JR, welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
We are so excited you're here. You just got a new appointment that'll start July 1. You are moving from Mapleton Junior as the assistant principal to Spanish Fork High School as the assistant principal. So exciting. But before we get into that, tell our viewers a little bit about who JR Brandon is personally and professionally.
Yeah, that's a big question. I could probably, talk for a really long time, but I'll try to keep it.
If you
not
want your
too
own,
long.
if you want your own episode, you just keep going.
Oh, no. Yeah, so I grew up in Spanish Fork. Both my parents actually went to Payson High School.
Okay.
And so, we had a little Spanish Fork Payson, kind of joke back and forth with my dad, but he was always supportive. We all played sports. I had two brothers and a sister.
Okay.
We all played football. My sister did drill. Those are kind of the things that we did. So
Awesome.
yeah, so Spanish Fork, we go back to when we were all kids, growing up here, being involved at Spanish Fork High School. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of great teachers and great coaches, and that, that kind of had an impact on me, and that's what got me into education, got me excited about coming to education. So yeah, professionally, I've been a technician. I have been a teacher. I coach football and track.
Wow.
But have the experience kind of on the other side of sports, which was
Yeah.
fun. And then I was a school counselor for a little while at Salem Hills, and got to understand all those things, right? Kind of help that transition from the classroom to the front office. And yeah, been at Mapleton Junior High for the last 5 years, and excited to come back to Spanish Fork, where I graduated and taught for a few years and coached a lot of sports. So it's exciting.
So fun. And you tell us about your family now.
Yeah, so my family now, I'm married, and I have 3 boys. So my wife's name's Erin, and then I have 3 boys, Luke, Carson, and Judd. And so they keep us busy. Luke's running around in a cast right now because he broke his
darn
arm.
it.
Lots of some broken bones, some stitches, like boys like they do.
Yep.
So that's but a lot of fun. So
Okay, I don't know if I even know this. Did you meet Aaron at Spanish Fork High?
yes,
Did you guys graduate the same year?
graduated the same year. Yeah, yep,
Did you date in high school?
we did.
Oh,
Yes, we did.
I didn't know
Wow.
that.
Yeah. So kind of our junior year of high school, we did track together, and that's kind of where we got to know each other. So
That's
we did have a
precious,
class
JR.
together too. So Lane Shepard, I guess, could claim that he's the one. That,
Oh,
he
Lane
would.
gets credit.
Yeah, Lane would take the credit.
You know what, Lane? Good job.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Good
yeah.
Cool.
So Spanish Fork is it's a kind of a special place for both of us. Yeah.
Place. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you're moving into this new position at Spanish Fork High. What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, the kind of bouncing back and forth from junior highs and high schools kind of seems to be what I've done. And the thing that's so awesome about high schools is that there's just so much going on that students can be, engaged in, and also that the community members can come to. So I think that's the most exciting thing about a high school is just, the sports and the performances and, all the fine arts and different things that are involved in the clubs and all those things. Like you get to see students in their element, whatever that is.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a lot of fun to interact with them in those ways.
Well, and I think a lot of people don't realize that a high school, you start well before sun up and you're there well after sundown just because of all of the activities that are going on.
Yeah.
You guys are running like mini cities.
It,
Yes.
it really is. Yeah.
Like the budget, the amount of people, and not just your students, but again, your spectators. And I mean, you guys are running mini cities.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And I think you get a lot of, those, even like you're saying, the students that come back and work in the school.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's
Yeah.
cool to see, right? So I was looking through the faculty on the website. I'm like, oh, I taught that person and they work there now. Like that's super cool.
That is so
So,
neat.
yeah. So yeah, like just that community and all the people that are involved at high school is really fun.
So you've been at Mapleton Junior how many years?
5.
5 years. So it's home.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're leaving them. What would you like to say to them?
Oh man, Mapleton Junior High is an awesome place, and really it is because the faculty members, the faculty and staff are so great. They're there, they want to help kids, they want to be involved, they know their students, and they are willing to just go above and beyond what you'd ask any teacher to do. So the 5 years that I've been there, I've never had to go to a teacher and say, hey, can you help this kid out, or hey, there's this thing going on. They know about it before I do most of the time, right? And so just so grateful. Such a great place to start as an administrator with just that support from that faculty has been so awesome. So definitely hard to leave a school, but so grateful that I've been able to be there.
And you, I just put this together. I don't know why it took me so long. You don't have to get to know your principal,
That's
gonna be great.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I was shocked. That was like the biggest surprise. When Tana went to Spanish Fork, I was kind of like, okay, well, I'll probably never
Well,
go there.
that's not
right?
it.
I'll
Yeah,
probably never
that
go
one's
there.
out. Darn it.
Yeah. She
And
was.
then 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, just
She was in the meeting when I found out that's where I was
Okay.
being reassigned.
Good.
And she was probably more shocked than I was. Like she was like, wait, what? So
Him?
yeah, it was pretty funny. But Tana's awesome.
She didn't say like,
Yeah, well, not in that meeting.
Not-
Probably
not to your
Yeah,
face.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's smart enough to not do that. But no, Tana's fantastic. And so I've worked with her for 3 years at Mapleton Junior High. And so that's kind of unique because
Yeah,
usually you're
very
coming in
unique.
and
Right.
you're flying blind,
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm really excited.
that's going to be a really fun team. You, Tana, and Bart.
Yeah,
So fun.
yeah.
And a new TSA.
We
don't know
We don't
yet,
even know
but
yet.
yeah.
So exciting though. But
So fun.
it'll be a lot of fun. They're
Yeah.
great people.
So leaving Mapleton Junior, it's always tough to make that transition, and you're starting over, new faculty, new colleagues. What would you like to let your new colleagues at Spanish Fork High know about you?
Yeah, that's like we said, I had taught there. It's been I think 7 years since I was there. So I know some of the faculty, but there's a lot that have changed. So I think just the fact that coming in, I want to get to know them and excited to work with them. I was actually able to be there a little bit today, and they are just doing awesome things. So many great teachers, and so just excited to get to know them and work together with them. Yeah.
Okay, I do have one more question.
did you walk into Spanish Fork with that shirt on,
That's-
or did you have to change when you?
Well, yeah, I walked in with the shirt. I had
Okay.
to change from, you
Change
gotta
the
have to wear
parking
both
lot.
schools
Yeah.
clothes.
So
Yeah.
you are changing in your
strategic.
car as you're driving
Yeah.
over.
Mapleton Junior or Spanish? Okay,
Yeah,
got it. I just
yeah.
was wondering. I figured maybe you walked in, maybe with a Mapleton Junior shirt or something else, and Matt was like,
That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
No, but I have done that before. Yeah, so I knew this time. I learned that lesson earlier in my career, right? Of
Yeah.
you wear the quarter zip or whatever. You take that off
Yes.
and walk in, and you put it
Yes,
back on and go
yes.
back to the
We've
school.
had this conversation with Matt already. I'm like, as the secondary ed, right? You cannot wear SF
No.
ever.
No,
It's
Yeah.
got to say Nebo. You got to have all 5, whatever you want to do. But
you can't do that. Yeah.
yeah, that's got to be behind closed doors.
Yeah, you got to dress strategically
Yeah.
with your shirt.
Well, JR, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so great to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, thank you.
And our next guest we're really excited to have is Jen Gosser. Jen, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be
We're
here.
so glad you're here.
Yeah, we are glad to have you. And I think our viewers are going to be excited to learn a little bit more about you. So let's start off by having you tell our viewers about who Jen is, both personally and professionally.
Well, I'm Jen. So let's see. Professionally, I before coming to Nebo School District, I helped run a private residential treatment center for troubled teens. I wore lots of hats while I did that. Everything from like night staff, because we let clear up in the mountains, so the roads would get closed during the winter time. So they'd call in and be like, "Hey, we can't get through." So I'd have to go in to cooking breakfast in the mornings, to running activities, to doing intake, disciplinary work, you name it. Substituting, I did all the things.
Everything.
And then eventually I went and did, I became EMT certified.
Oh,
so
cool.
I ran with the Sevier County, like search and rescue and EMS. And so I was able to be med staff at the ranch as well. So just hands in lots of different places. At the time, my husband was teaching English for them. And it was when retirement systems were starting to switch. And we were starting to get a little burnt out from the private sector and from residential treatment. It's hard work.
Yeah.
And so he made the choice that he wanted to go public. So then we came to Nebo School District, and I thought it was a wasted opportunity to have 2 major universities in my backyard and not take advantage. So I went back to school and got my elementary education degree. So and I've been teaching in Nebo ever since.
And you
Great.
started at what elementary school? Then you went middle and then admin route. So tell us about that.
So I taught 2nd grade at Brockbank, my intern year.
Okay.
And after that, then I moved over to Reese Elementary and taught 6th grade for 5 years.
Okay.
And then that's when the restructuring happened and I had a choice to make. And so I was doing my admin internship at the time at Diamond Fork Junior High because they hadn't switched yet.
Yeah.
And so as I helped them get ready for the middle school, I caught the vision and decided I wanted to go the middle school route. So there was actually several openings and I had other teacher friends who were going to be out of jobs as well. So I did a little bit of recruiting and there ended up being 5 of us that came over to Diamond Fork and kind of set up roots there and started teaching 6th and 7th. And then that's when I got picked up as a TSA over at Payson Junior. And I've been there for the last 3 years.
Great. Now you mentioned your husband. Why don't you
Yes.
tell our viewers a little bit about Ben and the crew?
Awesome. So my husband's name is Ben. He teaches at Landmark and he's been there now 15, 16 years, something in that range.
Yeah.
He loves it over there. So kind of that
And the kids absolutely love him.
I bet
they
he's
do.
awesome.
They do. We can't go many places at all without him running into someone that, they come up and they'll just say just some really awesome things like, "Hey, you helped change my life," things like that.
Oh, I
He
love
plays
that.
it off like he's all
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
and just is, and
It's
I'm
no
just
big
like,
deal, no big
oh,
deal.
and it melts my heart.
Yeah.
But he's made a lot of difference in a lot of lives, and so he's just a great big teddy bear. He looks and sounds extremely gruff if you've met him, but he's just a big old softy at heart. So he'll kill me for saying that, but
Well, and now it's on camera.
Well,
so
and anybody that knows him knows that's true.
true, right?
Yeah.
And together we have 3 kids, and so we're kind of empty nesters at the moment. So my oldest is getting ready to graduate from college in Colorado.
Okay.
He dual majored, so he'll have 2 bachelors in May. And then our daughter is at school in Idaho, and she's studying to become an English teacher herself. And then our youngest is currently serving a mission. And so I say we're only kind of empty nesters because his younger brother actually lives with us at the moment. So, so we've got Ben's younger brother living with us that we just absolutely love having Hadley around. And he's just another one of us, and our kids adore him. So
I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you were just appointed a couple weeks
I
ago
was.
for a new position starting July 1.
yes.
So you are moving from Payson Junior as the dean to Mount Nebo Middle School, which I am so excited about. Because I have a child there. That's why I'm so excited. And you're going to be the assistant principal.
Yes.
So tell me what you're most excited about in this new role.
You know, I am really excited to kind of get back to my roots. The majority of my career was spent with those 6th graders. It's a curriculum that I know, that I love. I mean, I taught all the subjects for all the years. Even though I kind of specialized in reading, I loved all of it. And so I'm really excited to kind of get back to those roots and to feel like I make a contribution curriculum-wise. Like, oh, hey, I have this direct knowledge, not just knowledge on classroom management or teaching pedagogy. So I'm really excited to impart some of that knowledge.
I love that.
Yeah.
They are lucky to get you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They are. And I'm sure the junior high is really sad to lose you. So in leaving the junior high, is there anything you would like to tell your friends and coworkers there before you leave?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know if there's enough time to say all of it. I have loved my time at Payson Junior with my whole heart. When I was first asked to go there, I was really confused. Like, why did they think that I could handle a job such as this, right? Especially at a junior high level. Like, I was very intimidated, thinking I'm going to walk in and they're going to just look at me as like this, oh, you're just an elementary person, you don't know our world, and not take me seriously. But that wasn't the case at all. I feel like from day one, the whole school embraced me and just completely welcomed me with open arms. There was no hesitation, no doubt, made me feel like I was a Grizzly through and through. And I appreciated that more than anything. And even more than that, I appreciate the mentorship that I've received. We've done easy things, we've done really hard things, we've done really sad things. And I feel like we've ran the gamut of all the emotions and have had amazing people by my side the whole time. I'm going to miss them terribly.
And I said that I was so excited that you're coming to Mount Nebo, and I'm so devastated that you're leaving Payson Junior because we were able to be with you for the last couple of years. I had a son there, and I would text you things. Hey, Jen, do you think you could maybe, I'm not going to tell all my secrets on the podcast, but I appreciate all that you've done because I can see a very positive difference in Payson Junior, the culture and what's going on there and what you've implemented. And you guys made a dynamite admin team. So I think they're going to miss you and I'm going to miss you there. But like I said, so stoked you're going to Mount Nebo because I still have a child there too. So
thank you. Yes, that was one of the things we like to refer to ourselves as the dream team because there wasn't a single moment that we didn't get along. Like we clicked from the moment, which was the other thing I was very intimidated by because they didn't get a say in who they got as their dean, right? Tammy
secondary doesn't.
Just had to accept who they got. And they found out the same day I found out. And luckily, I had worked with Tammy's sister at Reese Elementary.
Okay.
And so she was able to call her sister and be like, give me the scoop. And thank you, Jill. This is my shout out for just, singing my praises to her. And so I think it helped calm their fears. And they just welcomed me with open arms.
Yeah. Well, I know that place is going to miss you.
Yep, I think so. So now heading down to Mount Nebo Middle, what would you like that faculty and staff to know about you?
Well, I hope right off they learn to trust me. I know that that's kind of hard to open your hearts to someone new, especially when you've had strong people in there for the last several years that they've had. And transition and change is hard for everyone. Yeah. And so I hope first and foremost that they can learn that they can trust me and that I'm someone that will have their backs, that they can come to me, that they can talk to me, They will take everything seriously. That I'll be their number one fan, right off. And so I'm there just to help and lift up and to carry on the good things that are already happening at the school.
I'm so glad. There's a lot of incredible teachers at that school, and also a lot of elementary at heart. That's where they started. And so I think you're going to click with a lot of people because you're going to have so much in common.
There's a couple, there's one that I taught with at Reese Elementary side by side for years, that when he found out I was coming, just gave me a great big hug, and it just reaffirmed, like, this is the right choice.
Yeah, and it's going to be great.
So it's bittersweet for sure, but I'm excited.
Well, Jen, thank you so much for coming on the podcast
Thank
today.
you for inviting
We are
me.
so grateful
Thank
that you came.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Seth, I love that we are interviewing all of these new administrators. I think it's been so fun to get to know them, and we still have more.
We do. In fact, I think we're going to need a whole nother episode.
I think we are going to need a whole nother episode. So stay tuned to get to know more of our new administrators.